Hello, how you doing? I'm going for a walk this morning. That's why I have on these jerseys. Smokey Robinson, say it ain't so, y'all. Say it ain't so. Now, Smokey Robinson is a living legend. He's not a wannabe legend. He is a living legend. He's the hit maker from Motown. The hit maker. He's probably the best songwriter in the music industry besides that girl named Diane so and so and Dolly Parton. But she's probably the best songwriter in the music industry. Period. Say it ain't so. Now these women are saying that he raped them 20 times, 30 times, 10 times. Look, ask any woman who's been a victim of rape. They only get raped once, except for the case where there's kidnapping and torture. Of course, it's more than once, but for any woman to say she was raped 10 times, 20 times, that's impossible. That's what you call a relationship. Now, if those women say they had a relationship with Smokey, I go along with that. He screwed the help. Okay, I go along with that, but I don't go along with rape allegations. No. When you have sex 20 times with a man, that is a relationship. When you have sex 10 times, that is a relationship. Those women, he has 4 houses, right? Those women had every opportunity to call 911 the first time and say, this man raped me, and so on and so forth. Could have stopped it right then and there. But no, they did it time and time and time again. That's a relationship. So I do not believe it was rape. Because people say, well, they want to pay. Mexicans are always using the excuse, I got to pay my bills. I need a job. We'll go work on the farm. We'll go work on the farm. No. Okay. No, they did that for Smokey because they had a relationship with him. That's just true. Now, see, I didn't worry about Smokey that much because I thought he was a Christian. He wrote that in his book. So I thought he was a Christian. Okay, so I admit I didn't worry about him, but I want to know how in the world he gonna get that thing up at 85 years old. How's he gonna get that thing up at 75 years old, 65? But look, I think when maybe he got into the devil's territory at some point. But see, he had to have been possessed in order to do that. Because 85, that thing ain't coming up. 75 years old, that thing ain't coming up. 65, that thing ain't coming up. See, what happens is that the older we get, we are under an illusion that we are in our 20s and 30s. We are the same person that we were in our 20s and 30s. And it's an illusion. And so maybe in his mind, he was thinking, well, he's the same handsome 20, 30-year-old that he was. And so he's going to try to act like that. And then he's going to make a fool of himself in the process. He's going to screw the help. Okay. That makes no sense. But because like I said, I don't even see how he got that thing up at age 85, 75, or even 65. Look, maybe go down to 45, okay? I don't see how that thing's coming up. But look, he had to have been demon possessed in order for that thing to come up like that, okay? Because that's impossible at that age. It is totally impossible. And what is ridiculous, they wait 10, 20 years to even talk about it. That's not rape. That's a relationship. When you have sex with anybody 20 times, what you have is a relationship. That's not rape. They should have called the police the day after, because look, every woman in this country knows that, or any man knows that you report a rape within 48 hours. After 48 hours, the evidence is gone. But they had every opportunity to call the police in the first 24 hours and say, look, this man raped me. I need y'all to do something. And that problem would have been solved. But no, they let it happen again and again and again and again. So it's not rape. That is a relationship. That's what that is. So, like all other Hispanics, they try to extort money. They all, I have found Mexicans to be opportunists. They always try to find a way to make money, to extort money from people. Because look, I live around them. They're always trying to find an opportunity to get some free money from somebody. The government has spoiled them with their free money. So they're always trying to find an opportunity to extort people for money. So why not extort Smokey? Um, but no, I don't believe. I believe what they had was a relationship. I would go along with that. But no, I don't believe it was rape. But look, say it ain't so. Smokey Robinson screwing the help. Okay, just can't. That makes no sense. You know, all these black whores around. He don't get the whores. He get them. But anyway, it seems like even though black people get rich, the white man just takes all their money anyway. I mean, they should have filed criminal complaints 10, 20 years ago. That's what they should have done. Why were they wait 20 years later? That makes no sense. Almost 20 years later, that's stupid. They're gonna sue them 20 years later. They can't prove nothing. They can't prove anything happened. This is the stupidest one of the stupidest case I've ever seen, but it's so shocking too. I mean, I'm just so shocked at Smokey. Say it ain't so, Smokey. Say it ain't so.